Welcome back to night school. U.S. Senator Chris Murphy, he's a Democratic senator from Connecticut, says that he is worried that Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to influence the U.S. presidential election. How? By escalating tensions in the Middle East with no interest in a peace deal. Murphy believes that Bibi has an eye on domestic U.S. politics as he wages war on Lebanon and now Syria. He acknowledged that any prospect of peace in Gaza before election day, U.S. election day to be clear, is not likely. Democrats are deeply divided over the war in Gaza, and Senator Murphy told CNN, "quote It is certainly a possibility that the Israeli government is not going to sign any diplomatic agreement prior to the American election as a means potentially to try to influence the result." I think my response when I hear Senator Murphy say that is, duh. Benjamin Netanyahu has been putting his thumb on the U.S. electoral scales for a very long time. He clearly endorses Donald Trump. He prefers Donald Trump to be president. He hated Obama. He's come to the U.S. Capitol and then addresses over in front of both chambers for the sole purpose of showing up Obama, and now showing up Joe Biden when he did it this time around. There is a particular disdain that Netanyahu has shown for Obama, but that he's not a big fan of Biden, and I suspect he doesn't like Kamala Harris for a variety of reasons. And so, when you have Donald Trump who gives you everything, Donald Trump loves Bibi, he supports Bibi, he backs Bibi, he endorses Bibi, and he gives him everything he wants in U.S. foreign policy. You know, not signing the waiver for the Jerusalem Embassy Act, allowing for the annexation of the Golan. I mean, we're going on and on. He absolutely, and by he I mean Trump, absolutely is the softest touch that Israel has seen in a long time, and that takes a lot to say, given how easily the U.S. presidency has been amenable to the interests of whoever is the Israeli prime minister. So, against the backdrop of all of that, again, I say, duh. But Netanyahu is turning it up a notch now. The idea that he's actually invading a nation, Lebanon, the idea that he is expanding the Israeli nation state's commitment to indiscriminate violence and disproportionate violence against the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The fact that all of this, everything that's happening benefits two people, Netanyahu and Trump. I don't think Netanyahu's first goal is to influence American elections. I don't think he's out there trying to be that some secret hand. I think he understands that his political agenda is advanced better if Donald Trump is president. I think he also understands that the only way he stays out of jail is by staying prime minister, and the only way to stay prime minister is to stay at war. And so the doctrine of permanent war is much more likely to be advanced by Trump, who believes in war. Trump's not a war guy. He's not, even though he had Bolton and people in his cabinet, he's not a war guy. But he'll listen to war people and do what war people say if it meets his bottom line concerns. Whereas the Democrats are probably sort of running and branding themselves intentionally as anti-war people. So for Netanyahu, it's yeah, I want to affect the U.S. election because I want to affect the U.S. election. But fundamentally, all he wants to do is keep the war going and stay in office, because he will be fired the moment he doesn't. Not literally fired, but yeah, there'll be new elections and he won't win. I'm not sure he'd win any election right now anywhere near Israel. So this is the backdrop. But Senator Murphy's point was a little different. He's saying that all this war stuff, all this talking stuff, this failure to reach a peace deal is simply to make people more disillusioned with the with the Biden-Harris administration, and to encourage voters to punish Kamala Harris for what Biden has not done. Now, I happen to believe that Kamala Harris is not substantively better than Joe Biden on Israel-Palestine. I happen to believe that she may say one or two things differently, but at the core, there's no real difference. So I think Netanyahu knows that. And I think he worries about that. And so he's making the best political move for him. So I don't want you all making it sound like it's some conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's just how politics works. But be very clear. Netanyahu, whatever he says, is in his own interest, not the interest of you, me, or the Palestinian people. I want to shout out Gia Brewer for joining the channel. We appreciate you. Thank you for becoming part of the team. Um, it's interesting. But the bunny says what is noticeable is who is not declaring. And yeah, I think for me, Jordan and Egypt are the two big countries that have not declared. It's interesting to ask why. I think Egypt is so tied to the interests of the the um, the Israeli establishment that I'm not sure you see anything from the Palestinian Authority anymore, except complicity, except collaboration. And I don't mean that in a good way, except basically selling out the Palestinian people. James Harvey said, "Hola, Professor. Do you know what's going on in Morocco, where a vacationing IDF member was arrested for war crimes?" I have not heard this story. Y'all gonna have to read me in on it. I'll read in on it and give you an update from maybe we do the guys update. We'll do something diasporic and talk about North Africa as well. But wow. Morocco don't usually get busy like that. I'm a little surprised, but we will find out.